Hello, I'm John Frausto with Topspin Tennis. In this video, I'm going to do an analysis on Holger Rune's first serve. The video is filled with a ton of tips. Enjoy. Before we get started, got to give credit to Tennis Videos Practice. They provided this video. Thank you so much for doing that. I've got a link to their channel below, so make sure you visit that link and give them some support. All right, let's look into that first phase. I've really broken this down into 5 phases, 5 magic moves. The first one is really the toss. And if we watch Holger, when he tosses, this tossing arm is really just going to go right along this baseline. Actually, it's not directly, it's actually going into the court a little bit more. So if we watch that tossing arm, how it's just gonna kind of follow that line. Similar to something that Federer does. Now here's a little golden nugget for you to keep in mind. Because he's having to hit to the deuce side, he's gonna have to hit across his body a little more. This tossing arm will be out into the court just a little bit more. On the ad side, since you don't have to hit across your body as much, the tossing arm could follow along the baseline a little more. So that's just a little subtlety that I feel will help you on with your toss. Watch this, the movement of the ball. It is going to go up, and it's almost like a hairpin, or it follows that U shape with the toss. So it does a nice job with that. And as soon as he releases that toss, notice where the release point is. It's going to be right at the top of his head. That's usually the release point for most tosses, is at the top of the head, right in that area, and he does that. One other thing to keep in mind is when he releases this toss, notice where his racket head is, how it's still down. And that leg motion, that bilateral movement will help with power on the serve. And there's different ways to get into this trophy phase, but he does use that lag where that racket head is down as he releases the toss, and then it'll play a little catch up here as he gets into the trophy pose. Magic move number 2 is going to be the load, and look at that load position. It is a signature position here. A few things we really want to look at. Look at the foot position. Look at those feet. He does use a platform stance. I like the platform stance. I use it. The reason why I like it so much is if I were going to tell you to jump as high as you can in the air, the way you're going to do that is by keeping these feet apart, almost like you're going to try to jump in basketball and touch the rim. Your feet are going to be apart like this. You're going to be able to elevate and launch a lot better. That's what Holger does in this position here. So he gets into that good loading phase. You get up on those tiptoes. Another golden nugget here, or magic move with this loading phase, is when you release that toss and get into the loading phase, that's your opportunity to get balanced. And notice how he is balanced. Great job getting up on those toes. The knees are bent, and notice where his hips and shoulders are facing. They're facing to the side. He is completely turned sideways to his target. Make sure you get into that position with your loading phase. The non-hitting arm, look at that. It's past vertical here. That's another great position to get into. Just getting that coiling, that loading into a signature position. Let's look at magic move number 3, and that's the launching. This is probably the most underutilized part of the serve. We got a lot of players, once they get into this loading phase, they don't launch enough. Look at how he elevates here. Pushes off that ground, and look at the air he has under his feet. Just a beautiful, beautiful launch position. Look at the angle he's going to have coming down into the court now by doing that. He's just fully utilizing the technique here on this shot. One other thing to keep in mind too, as you launch, the more you launch, look at the racket drop, how he gets into that beautiful signature position with the racket head. It gets down below that butt. That's always like an area that I'm looking, can we get that racket head below the waist? Now he actually has good flexibility he's able to get into this position. But one way you can do this is by, you kind of, they work opposite. You launch up and the racket head will drop down. It's almost like a pulley here. And he gets into a great position there. Magic move number 4 is going to be the contact point. And look at the contact point. Beautiful job. Full extension with his arm. The ball and the racket head are to the inside of the hand here. So very, very good position. He's well connected on this shot. One thing I do want to show you, here's this golden nugget. As he launches, look at this, how he gets on edge here. See that position there? The racket head is on edge. It's a great throw. He's almost going to throw this racket edge to the ball. And just on contact, look at how he squares up. That's a great shot right there. So here's one frame from contact. So we'll go one frame, contact, and then from contact, let's go 2 frames. 1, 2. Look at that position. Look at the snapping that he gets with the at the top, that throwing motion. We see a lot of players 2 frames out from contact, and that racket head is probably, they're still probably like in this position, but you can see how he really pronates hard. He finishes to the right side of his body, and that is a signature position. Magic move number 5 is going to be the finish. Look at where Holger lands in the court. This is something we see a lot of the ATP, WTA players do very, very well. With that launching up and out into the court, a byproduct of that is landing in the court. I would say the majority of beginner intermediate players are going to be landing behind the baseline or on the baseline. Holger does a great job of elevating, launching, landing on that left foot, then immediately has to back up, right? Because he got so far into the court, any type of deep return could hurt him. So those are the magic moves. I hope that helped. Keep in mind, 80% of you who are watching these videos are not subscribed to the channel. So do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, that subscribe button, share the video with any of your friends or family or coaches. Thanks so much. Have a great day.